Want to teach you today on how to know that your rabbit is sick and things to watch out for. When you get to your rabbit farm in the morning, and how to know if your rabbit are healthy or they are not healthy. Because you see, rabbits are quiet animals. They are very simple, even though they are very smart and they are very cute. But then, if you don't pay attention to their behaviors, their instincts, you might think all is well, whereas all is not well. You understand? So I'm gonna be sharing some of my experiences, dealing with rabbits and things you should watch out for on your rabbit farm to know if your rabbit are in good condition or if something is wrong somewhere and what you should do about that. Now, the first thing is that when you get to your farm in the morning, you understand, of course, like we do here, normally you sweep everywhere, you clean up the farm, you clean their you sweep their poo away and all those things. Like we have here, we have both poo and urine collector are here, so all the pools from the ones on top are dropping down into this place. You understand? So that being said, when you come into your farm and you clean everywhere up, you sweep everywhere, because rabbits health is actually majorly dependent on the level of hygiene in the farm. So if the farm environment is very clean, then you can trust that your rabbits are going to be very, very healthy. You understand? So you want to ensure that you maintain a very clean environment of your farm. That's number one. And also, I always recommend that people should have something like a tube bath. What is it called? A food bath. You understand? It's one of the ways you enhance biosecurity. If somebody is coming to your farm for the first time, there should be a food bath which they dip their legs into it before they enter into your farm, so that they don't bring infection from outside, especially if they are fellow farmers like you who also have rabbits in their own farm. You don't want them to bring infections into your farm. So a food of bath is a very good thing. You can use formalin inside the water. You can use hypo inside the water. You understand? It helps to maintain a high level of disinfection before somebody comes into your farm. That being said, when you come into your rabbit farm in the morning, you want to check, especially between the hours of 7 a.m. and 9:30 a.m., even till 10 a.m. sometime, your rabbit should be active. What does it mean for rabbit to be active? Moving up and down. In fact, when they know you, because rabbits have instinct and they know their owner, they know the smell of your perfume, they know they can hear your voice, they can recognize your voice. You understand? So when they see that you are around, they know our food is available, it's time to change your water and all those things, they start moving around. They start coming around you, they start coming near you. You understand? Let me show you an example of what I'm talking about. Look at this rabbit now. Look at this rabbit is quite active right now. Can you see that? This is the normal thing. This is the normal thing that should be when you come to your farm in the morning. The rabbit should be active. This is actually a 4 kg hybrid Dutch. I always talk about hybrid Dutch in my videos, and this is one of them. This one is actually a 4 kg hybrid Dutch. So this is how your rabbit should be. They should be responsive. They should be active. They should be moving around in the cage and not just dulling. You understand? So you want to check for activeness of your rabbit when you come into your rabbit farm in the morning. And that's the first thing. If you come into your rabbit farm and one of your rabbits is on the same spot for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, trust me, something is wrong. Something is wrong. Now that doesn't mean that you cannot come into your farm and meet your rabbit sleeping. Yes, you do. It's possible for them to be sleeping. You know that they are more active in the night than in the day. So it's possible for them to be active all night, and when you come in the morning, they are sleeping. But immediately you start cleaning the environment, you start feeding them, you start opening the doors of their cages, they will wake up from their sleep and start interacting with you. But if the rabbit is on the same spot for a long time, then something is wrong. That's number one. Number two thing that also shows that your rabbit is sick is that when you come into your rabbit's cage and you realize that the level of water you gave the rabbit yesterday and food remains the same, that means the rabbit has not eaten and has not drink any water since yesterday till now, then your rabbit is sick. Now, a lot of things could cause that, but I'm still coming. Let me give you all the instances of what can tell you that your rabbit is sick. So you give the water there, you give the food there, and then you met everything is still at the same level. Let me show an example. Look at this water. Before going to church this morning, this water was filled, and look at the level of the water now. It has gone down, which means this rabbit has actually drank out of the water. You understand? This is what's supposed to be when you come in the morning. The level of water you give them yesterday supposed to have reduced when you get there today. So when you get there today and then the water is not reduced at all, then that tells you that something is very, very wrong. You understand me? So that's another point. Number three is something we call mange. Mange is a serious infection for rabbits. It can be on their on their nose region, their tail and their foot region. But the most common symptoms of mange that I've realized is always inside the rabbit ear. Let me show you. an example of what I'm talking about. When you get into your family in the morning, you want to look into the rabbit's ear. Take a look at this rabbit's ear. Can you see that the rabbit's ear is very clean? Look at the second ear too. It's very clean. That's because this rabbit does not have mange. Now, if mange is at work, the ear will not be clean like that. It will be filled with something that looks like dirty stuff, looking almost as if there is a level of soil inside the air. But if you think it's soil and you take something like maybe a sharp object or something to just dust the soil away, then you realize that it is very sticky, and if you force it, it will start bleeding. So it is not something you can dust off. It's an infection from the inside. You have to administer ivermectin injection to cure that particular sickness. And trust me, if you use ivermectin injection in 2 to 3 days time, you check that ear and you realize that it is gone. So that's how effective ivermectin injection can be in dealing with the situation. So that man, now when rabbit have this man, please note your rabbit will still be eating, will still be drinking, and still be active. But if it is not treated after a while, it can actually lead to your rabbit's death. So when it is still developing, it will not necessarily affect your rabbit's activeness. Your rabbit will still be active, right? But after a while, the rabbit, if the thing is not treated, the rabbit can actually die. You understand? After a while, the rabbit will definitely stop eating, and then that is when you know that something is really wrong. But by that time, it will have become so serious. That's number one. Number two is that if your rabbit didn't eat all day, since yesterday, that means your rabbit did not pass any poo. You see that the under the cage is clean. There's no poo whatsoever. Because there cannot be byproducts when the rabbit has not eaten. You understand? The rabbit cannot pass any poo when it has not eaten. So if it's not eating, there are two factors that could be responsible. Number one, it could be a situation called bloat. Bloat is a situation of gas and indigestion in rabbits, which can come as a product of a particular food you give them, or as a product of changing their food all of a sudden. If you change rabbit feed all of a sudden, the rabbit can have bloat. You understand? It does not necessarily mean that the feed the new feed you're using now is bad. It only means that the process of changing it abruptly can actually lead to bloat. And that is why I made a video earlier discouraging the use of poultry feed for rabbits, because it causes them to have bloat a lot. If you are giving poultry feed to rabbits, they will have bloat. Rabbit feed is different from poultry feed because rabbit digestive system is quite different from that of poultry as well. So we have, like, we here on our farm, we sell rabbit feed. As you can see, that our rabbits are on a concentrated feed that we made for them. So if you want to get your rabbit feed, you can actually get them from us. Very good rabbit feed that will help your rabbit to grow and develop well. So that you stop giving your rabbit poultry feed. I always tell you, it will not help you. It will not help the rabbit to be productive for a very long time. You understand? So if there is a bloat situation, that means your rabbit will not eat. And now, even though your rabbit is hungry, it still wouldn't eat. And actually, it's very easy to treat bloat. I think I've made a video before on how to actually treat bloat. If you want to treat bloat in rabbit, there's something called KC bloat. You can get it from a veg store. KC bloat actually can be used to treat bloat in rabbit. But beyond using KC bloat, I have personally realized that using flagell, white flagell, is very effective. You dissolve the white flagell in water and use a syringe to absorb it and put it in the rabbit's mouth, maybe like 5 ml inside the rabbit mouth. You'll be putting it in the rabbit mouth gradually, like you will not rush it. It will be a gradual process. You understand? It will be a gradual process. Dissolve the white flagell, just a tablet, inside water, a little water actually. You will absorb it with the syringe without the needle and put it inside the rabbit's mouth. It will help the rabbit to dissolve the indigestion, and the gas will also be released. And one of the ways you know that your rabbit is recovering from bloat is that, number one, your rabbit will start passing a gelatinous thick colorless fluid. They will pass it out. When they are passing that out, the bloat is coming out of their stomach, and then your rabbit will start eating. Now, when your rabbit is recovering from bloat, you don't want to give them your concentrated feed here. You want to give them either leaf or A. You understand? You want to give them either leaf or A. That is the appropriate thing to give them while they are recovering. So when they are fully recovered, you can get them back on the normal rabbit feed. So a bloat situation will, if your rabbit has bloat, the stomach will be protruded. It will be very big, right? The stomach will be very big as a sign that your rabbit is undergoing bloat, right? And that is not a good thing. So you want to watch out for that and make sure that you get rid of it as well. So and then the rabbit will not eat. You understand? So that is another thing that you have to also watch out for. So basically, if your rabbit is healthy in the morning, when you get there, they should be active, they should be moving up and down. You understand? Another thing that also can cause rabbit not to eat is if your rabbit is nursing. If they are nursing babies, you understand? and they have what we call mastitis. Mastitis is a situation of infection, you understand, around the breast region. It happens oftentimes with breastfeeding rabbits. It can also happen with other rabbits if they get infected, but from my experience, it's more frequent with breastfeeding rabbits. Now, this is a situation of a swollen body part around the breast region full of fluid, you understand? And sometimes the rabbit will still be managing to breastfeed her baby, but she's in pain. And when you get to a level of severity, the rabbit will stop eating and may also stop breastfeeding the baby. Now, when that happens, what do? Most of the time, it doesn't happen at the early stage of the breastfeeding. It will happen maybe like 3-4 weeks, especially if the rabbit is breastfeeding a large numbers of baby, maybe like 8 or 10 thereabouts. So what you do is actually to get a drug called pen strep. Pen strep is the short form of penicillin streptomycin. It's very effective for dealing with mastitis in rabbits. So when you inject pen strep, it is very effective in dealing with it. But in a situation where you do have pen strep, you can actually use a combination of ivermectin injection and oxytetracycline. You understand? Yes, a combination of the two can also take care of pen strep. However, in a severe condition, you might want to inject the pen strep today if the level of the fluid and the swelling in the breast region is much. You want to inject the rabbit with either of the two I mentioned now today, and then in the next 7 days you're going to inject it again. But in between those 7 days, you might administer multivitamin to the rabbit twice. You understand? So as to help the recovery process. You understand? So that is that about that. When mastitis is affecting your female rabbits, especially a mother, nursing mother, she will not eat and she will not be active, and she might also not breastfeed the babies. So you want to watch out for all these things. Also, we have sore husk. Sore husk is a situation of infection and injury around the foot region, whereby your rabbit's foot is infected. Sometimes it is caused because if you're using the wrong nets, yes, if you're using the wrong nets, for the floor of your rabbit cage, it can affect them. For example, if you're using this kind of nets for the rabbit cage floor, it can affect and cause sore husk, because this is the right net to use for your rabbit floor. Look at this. This is called 1/2 by 1/2 inch net. This is the appropriate net. This is the standard net you should use for your rabbit floor. This will not cause any sore husk whatsoever. So sore husk actually is a situation whereby there is an injury on your rabbit foot, and the injury gives room for microorganisms to come into the rabbit through the leg, and then it will start swelling up. You understand? When this happens, we actually have to treat it with ivermectin injection as well. But beyond treating with ivermectin injection, I always administer and encourage people that when your rabbit have sore husk, you want to get a plank or something like maybe a carton or something strong and place it on the rabbit's cage floor, so that the rabbit can rest on something more stronger, more durable, instead of directly resting on that net. You understand? Something that is not just net, something that is more stronger, like a plank. You put it on there, so it will help with the recovery of the leg region. You can also put something like maybe a spirit just on that region where the opening is happening, but the ivermectin will cure it from the inside. And then if you put a plank there, it will also help the rabbit to recover quite frequently. That's why you must have the right rabbit housing system, so that your rabbit can be healthy for a long time. You understand? So these are things that you must watch out for. You see, I've seen people that say, well, I've been raising rabbit for a while now, I don't use drug and medication. I am telling you the honest truth. You cannot run a farm of about 25 to 50 or even 200 rabbits without medication. You are joking. You are joking. When the rabbits are in large number, most of their infections are airborne. So if there are no medications on ground, there could be a very easy outbreak. You understand? Which can be passed from one rabbit to the other. But when you have their medication on ground, it can be arrested easily, instantly, and then it will stop the spread. But when you have a rabbit in large number, you're not using any medication on them, then when one is sick, it can easily pass to other ones. So a standard rabbit farm should actually have a first aid box filled with rabbit medication and injection. And maybe I'm going to do another proper video on various rabbit medication you should know, and their injection, and how to apply them. Right? Yeah. So I'm going to do a standard a video on that. Then let me also talk about coccidiosis. Coccidiosis is an infection in the rabbit system, and as a result of this coccidiosis, of course, I'm sure if you are raising poultry, you know what coccidiosis is all about, because it also affects birds. So the same way it affects birds, it affects the rabbit as well. Now, when coccidiosis is in place in your rabbit, which oftentimes tends to affect the winners, but I have been able to overcome that over the years. Your rabbits will be passing watery poo instead of standard poo. You know, normally, like I always tell people, this is what your rabbit poo should look like. Somebody might feel offended. I'm holding it with my hand. Don't worry, I'm going to wash my hand. But I'm a farmer. I have to do some of these practicals to actually teach you guys what we're talking about so that you understand. This is the normal rabbit poo. If your rabbit poo is like this, then your rabbit is healthy. Anything otherwise different from this, the rabbit is not healthy. Now, please note, the color can vary. Your own rabbit might be passing out a poo that is color black. It might also pass out a poo that is color green, depending if you feed your rabbit more of grasses, green grasses, they will pass out the poo that will be color green. So my emphasis is not on the color. My emphasis is on the shape, not the color. The color is subject to changes based on what the rabbit is eating, right? So that being said, that is what your rabbit poo should look like. When your rabbit poo is not like this and is looking watery, it means that something is wrong either with what the rabbit is eating, or it could be a coccidiosis situation. Now, if it's a coccidiosis situation, there are so many anti-coccidiosis drugs that you can use. You can use Coccidia, you can use Cocimapro, you can use you can use Coccidia, you can use Embacoc, you can use Embacin Fort, you can use Cocimapro, right? So quite a lot of anti-coccidiosis drugs are very, very effective. And when you are actually trying to treat coccidiosis in rabbits, I always advise that you don't treat it just in the ones that are showing the symptoms. You treat it all round, and you treat it for a space of 3 days. 3 days consecutively, back to back, you understand? And then when you are done with the treatment, when you return them back to the normal water on the 4th day, then when it is 7th or 6th day, you can apply multivitamin. I personally recommend either iTop or Mazid multivitamin. Those are very, very effective rabbit multivitamin that I use. All right, so that being said, I think I've covered a lot of things on what the things you should look out for. Now, when your rabbit has coccidiosis, also your rabbit might not eat and your rabbit might be losing weight. In fact, when it is you see, anytime rabbit is passing watery poo, they lose weight very fast, because both the things that they need in their body and their poo will be coming out of their body as watery poo. And that's why you must arrest the situation on time and not let it escalate. And that's why I always encourage people, when you are raising rabbits and the babies are with their mothers and they are 5 weeks, when they are 5 weeks, you use an anti-coccidiosis drug, even without the symptoms of coccidiosis, because prevention is always better than cure. Use an anti-coccidiosis drug for 3 days. Then if you're going to wean your rabbit, if you wean them at 4 weeks or 11, at 6 weeks or 8 weeks, whenever you wean your rabbit from their mother, you're going to place the winners on the anti-coccidiosis drug again for 3 days. This will help them to build immunity against it. Let me also say this: for someone like us who has large capacity farm, we could win out of 600 at the same time. We could win out of 400 at the same time. You know, depending on how many of our nursing mother or pregnant do deliver. You know, based on the batch we are crossing. Now, when that happens, we don't use the same brand of anti-coccidiosis drug, because from our experience we realize that they develop resistance against it. So we can buy different brands. That's why I gave it various names, from Embacin Fort to Embacoc to Cocimapro to Coccidia, you know, to a lot of them. Like, there's a lot of anti-coccidiosis drug out there, which are very, very effective. You understand? So these are the things that you must check out for. Your rabbit must be healthy. Now, let me also say this: rabbits can be very dangerous sometimes to themselves, not to you, but to themselves. Now, how do I mean? Your rabbits, after winning, can stay with themselves till 3 months. At 3 months, they will start fighting. It is expedient that you should separate them, especially by sex. You want to keep the male, away from the female. And even if you are keeping the male together, you still have to watch them when you are separating them, and be sure that they are not fighting. Because if they are fighting when you are separating them, trust me, if you are not around, they might kill themselves. And they might even, especially the males don't like to stay together, except if they grew up together and they have recognized one another. Then they might just coexist favorably. But that does not happen all the time, and especially when they get into 3 months and 4 months old, they start fighting. You understand? So you want to check them and be sure that they are not fighting before you leave them and go away, because overnight, let me tell you something, that's why we always recommend that your mature rabbit should be kept one per cage, especially the male. Don't kill them together in maturity, because if you kill them together, they're going to kill themselves, they're going to fight themselves, and they're going to destroy each other's scrotum. That is how terrible they can be. You understand? They are very territorial, so you have to keep them on one, so that the one does not attack the other. Females can still stay together even into maturity, especially if they grew up together. Please note that word: if they grew up together. You understand me? So you have to watch all those things so that your rabbit does not begin to attack themselves. At 4-5 months, they need to be separated so that they can stay safe. I hope you understand what I'm saying. So you have to watch for their activeness. Your rabbit must be active when you get them in the morning. Your rabbit must have drank their water and must have eaten their food. But when people used to say the rabbit does not need water, that's a big lie. That's a big lie, biggest lie. Even broiler chicken, even local chicken, they drink water. Even human being drink water. Even babies. Human babies drink water after a few months, isn't it? So how much more rabbits? Why wouldn't they drink water? So don't buy that school of thought. Is a lie. Rabbits should drink water. They need water. In fact, water helps with digestion and helps them to grow faster. Any rabbit that drinks enough water will even grow better. So don't accept that concept that they say that rabbits don't drink water. It's a lie. They actually drink water in order for them to stay healthy. So I hope I've shared a lot of stuff in this video today. If you have any question, please do to draw a question in the comment section. I'll be back to reply you, and we'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye. Take care, everyone.